The intergalactic marketplace buzzed with energy, a vibrant tapestry of colors and sounds that seemed to pulse with life. Alex Rodriguez, a humble pizza delivery driver, maneuvered through the crowded aisles, skillfully balancing boxes of steaming hot pizzas stacked high on his hoverboard. The air was thick with enticing aromas, spicy alien delicacies mingled with sweet cosmic pastries, and the laughter of children echoed amidst the chatter of vendors hawking their wares. It was a typical day in this bustling hub of trade, where various species came together to barter and share their unique cultures. As Alex glided past a stall adorned with shimmering fabrics from the planet Zanara, he caught snippets of alien conversations, their languages melodic yet alien to his ears. He smiled, enjoying the lively atmosphere, but his usual routine was about to be disrupted by something unexpected. Just as he approached the corner where the food court bustled with activity, a heart-wrenching cry pierced through the noise, halting him in his tracks. The sound was raw and filled with despair, cutting through the jovial chaos like a knife. Curiosity tugged at Alex's heartstrings as he followed the sound. He pushed through a throng of shoppers, ignoring the curious glances thrown his way. The cries grew louder, filled with a desperate plea that seemed to resonate in every corner of his being. He rounded a stall overflowing with glowing fruits and came to a halt in front of a small figure sitting on the ground, sobbing uncontrollably. It was a small Zektar child, their bright blue skin contrasting sharply against the dull metallic ground. The child's large, tear-filled eyes were filled with confusion and fear, scanning the crowd for something or someone. Alex's heart sank. The emotional weight of the child's cries pulled at him, igniting a sense of responsibility within him. Memories of feeling lost in a crowd flooded his mind, and he knew he couldn't just walk away. Kneeling down to the child's level, Alex offered a gentle smile, hoping to convey warmth and safety. "Hey there, little one. What's wrong?" His voice was calm, soothing against the chaotic backdrop of the marketplace. The child looked up, their tear-streaked face twisting in sorrow. "I can't find my parent," they cried, their voice trembling. "They were just here." The desperation in their tone sent a pang of empathy through Alex. He could feel the weight of loneliness in the child's voice, a feeling he remembered all too well from his own childhood experiences. "I'm really sorry to hear that," Alex replied softly, searching for words that could comfort the frightened child. "What's your name?" "Luma," the child replied, sniffling and wiping their nose with a small, spindly hand. "I was just looking at the fruits, and then they were gone. I can't find them anywhere." Alex's heart ached for Luma. He leaned in closer, feeling a bond form in their shared vulnerability. "Luma, I promise I'll help you find your parent. We'll look together, okay?" Luma nodded vigorously, though the fear still flickered in their eyes. "Really? You will?" "Absolutely," Alex assured them. "Let's start by retracing your steps. Can you show me where you were last?" As Luma began to lead the way, a strange warmth enveloped Alex. He felt a sense of purpose that he hadn't experienced in a long time. He had always thought of his job as just delivering pizzas, a mundane task in the grand scheme of the universe, but now, he was stepping into a role that felt larger than himself. If you're enjoying this story, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Together, they weaved through the marketplace, Luma occasionally glancing back at Alex with a mixture of hope and fear. They passed vendors displaying bizarre wares, glowing crystals, peculiar plants, and vibrant, pulsating orbs that seemed to hum with energy. Yet, the joyful ambience felt distant as Luma's distress clung to the air around them. "Was it over there?" Alex asked, pointing towards a stall draped in colorful banners and filled with exotic snacks. Luma shook their head, their little hands fidgeting nervously. "No, that's not it." They continued their search, moving deeper into the maze of stalls. Alex noticed how the other marketgoers were oblivious to the small child's plight, their laughter and chatter creating a stark contrast to the worry etched on Luma's face. As they approached a large fountain, its waters shimmering under the marketplace's overhead lights, Luma suddenly stopped, staring wide-eyed at the bubbling water. "Sometimes, my parent takes me here to watch the fish," Luma said, their voice barely a whisper. "I thought I could see them from here." Alex knelt beside Luma, pointing to the swirling colors beneath the surface. "Those are beautiful fish, Luma. Do you see the blue one? It looks just like your skin." He hoped to distract the child, if only for a moment, from the fear that loomed over them. Luma smiled faintly, a flicker of joy breaking through the clouds of worry. "Yeah, it does. Let's take a moment to breathe, okay?" Alex suggested, watching as the child's shoulders relaxed slightly. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a small, colorful candy he had saved from his last delivery. "Here, this might help. It's a sweet treat." Luma's eyes widened with curiosity. "What is it?" "It's called a candy of Calmaris. They're a bit sour at first but turn sweet. Give it a try." He offered it to Luma, who hesitated for a moment before accepting it eagerly. As Luma popped the candy into their mouth, their eyes lit up with surprise, the sourness quickly giving way to sweetness. "This is good. Thank you." "Anytime, Luma," Alex chuckled, feeling his heart swell. "Now, let's keep looking for your parent." He stood up, extending his hand to Luma, who took it without hesitation. Alex felt a sense of warmth surge through him. He wasn't just delivering pizzas, he was on a mission to reunite a child with their family. With renewed determination, they pressed on through the marketplace, ready to face whatever obstacles lay ahead. Together, they would navigate the bustling world of intergalactic trade, and Alex was fully committed to ensuring that Luma would no longer feel alone in this vast expanse of alien life. As Alex and Luma meandered through the vibrant stalls of the intergalactic marketplace, the kaleidoscope of colors and sounds enveloped them. The air was rich with the aroma of exotic spices and sizzling street food, an enticing blend that could make anyone forget their troubles, even if just for a moment. Yet, for Luma, the fear of being lost overshadowed the enticing atmosphere around them. "Was it over there?" Alex pointed toward a stall adorned with shimmering crystals that caught the light just right. Luma shook their head vigorously, the large, tear-filled eyes reflecting a mixture of hope and desperation. "No, that's not it." Their voice was small, almost lost amidst the laughter and chatter of bustling shoppers. Alex could see the child's confidence wavering, and it tugged at his heartstrings. He knew they needed to find Luma's parent quickly, but he wanted to be gentle, to instill a sense of hope in the child. "Let's keep moving, Luma. You know, I used to get lost in big places like this too," Alex said, squatting down to be eye level with the small Zektar. "It can feel really scary. But you know what? Most of the time, if you just take a deep breath and look around, you can find your way back." Luma looked at him, their eyes narrowing in curiosity. "Really? You got lost?" "Yeah, a couple of times," Alex chuckled, recalling his childhood escapades. "Once, I wandered off at a carnival. There were so many rides and games. I got so distracted that I didn't notice my mom was looking for me. But you know what happened? I found her again, and it felt like a big adventure." Luma's brow furrowed slightly. "But what if we can't find my parent?" Alex felt the weight of that question. "We will, I promise. You and I are a team now. Let's retrace your steps, and I'm sure we'll find them." With a newfound determination, Luma nodded and grabbed Alex's hand. They navigated through the throngs of shoppers, Luma leading the way. The stalls seemed endless, each filled with dazzling goods from across the galaxy, but Alex focused on the child who tugged at his sleeve, their little feet quickening as they approached a stall laden with vibrant fruits. "This is where I saw the oranges," Luma exclaimed, pointing excitedly at the stack of bright, glimmering orbs. As if on cue, a vendor, a jovial alien with 3 eyes and a cascading mane of colorful tendrils, caught sight of them. "Ah! You like the Frizzole oranges? They're the best in the market. Have you seen my parent?" Luma asked, their voice trembling slightly. The vendor looked concerned, his eyes widening. "No, little one, I haven't. But you stay close. I'm sure they'll be around here somewhere. Do you want an orange while you wait?" Alex watched as Luma hesitated, the offer of a sweet treat momentarily distracting them from their worry. "Maybe later," Luma replied, their eyes still searching the crowd. "Let's keep looking," Alex said gently. "We can come back for an orange, I promise." They moved on, weaving through groups of aliens chatting and laughing, their languages a symphony of sounds that was both fascinating and overwhelming. Alex wished he could understand them, to dive deeper into the culture surrounding him, but right now, his focus was solely on Luma. "What do you think your parent looks like?" Alex asked, trying to keep the conversation light. "They have green skin and big wings," Luma described, their face lighting up with the memory. "And they always wear a bright blue scarf." Alex smiled, picturing this alien parent. "Bright blue, huh? That's a good color. I bet they're looking for you too." As they passed a stall selling intricate jewelry, a soft melody floated through the air, the notes weaving in and out like a gentle breeze. Alex could see Luma's gaze drawn to the music, the child swaying slightly to the rhythm. "Do you like the music?" he asked. "It's pretty." Luma replied, their fears momentarily forgotten. "Let's take a quick break and enjoy it for a minute," Alex suggested. They stepped aside, allowing the child to absorb the enchanting atmosphere around them. As they stood there, Alex's heart swelled with hope. If he could just keep Luma distracted and joyful, perhaps the search wouldn't feel so daunting. The child began to bounce lightly on their toes, lost in the music, and Alex couldn't help but join in. They swayed together, laughter bubbling up inside him, a sound that felt foreign but refreshing. "See? This is fun," Alex said, beaming. "And it's a good reminder that it's okay to feel scared sometimes. You have to find joy even when things look tough." Luma giggled, the sound ringing like tiny bells. "You're funny." Just then, the music faded, replaced by the chatter of the crowd. "Okay, enough fun for now. Let's find your parent." They resumed their search, moving again through the throngs of colorful creatures. Luma's expression shifted back to worry, and Alex felt a pang in his chest. "We'll find them, I promise," he reiterated, squeezing Luma's hand reassuringly. As they walked, Alex began to notice the different vendors and their wares. He admired a stall showcasing glowing crystals that pulsed with light, a display that captivated many passers-by. "Look at these," he exclaimed, pointing to a particularly vibrant crystal. "They're like the stars, aren't they?" Luma's eyes widened in awe. "I want one." "How about we find your parent first, and then we can come back for a crystal?" Alex suggested, hoping to keep the focus on their mission. After what felt like an eternity of searching, they rounded a corner and came upon a bustling area where families gathered. Alex's heart raced with the thought that perhaps they were getting closer. "Is this where you usually meet your parent?" he asked. "Sometimes. But I don't see them," Luma said, their voice trembling again as they glanced around. "Let's ask some people if they've seen them," Alex said, his voice steady. He approached a group of friendly-looking aliens who were chatting over a table of snacks. "Excuse me, have any of you seen a Zektar with green skin and a blue scarf?" The group shook their heads, eyes filled with sympathy. "Sorry, friend. We haven't seen anyone like that," one of them replied, their tone warm and inviting. "Thanks anyway," Alex said, trying to keep the disappointment from showing on his face. He turned back to Luma, who was staring down at the ground, their small shoulders slumped. "Hey, don't lose hope. We'll find them. Let's keep moving." Luma nodded, though the flicker of fear still lingered in their eyes. They resumed their search, and Alex felt an overwhelming urge to protect the child from the world's harshness. He had taken on delivery jobs to make a living, but now he was reminded that his actions could have profound meaning beyond just delivering pizzas. If you're enjoying this story, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. As they continued on, Alex felt a sense of purpose ignite within him. This wasn't just about helping a lost child, it was about showing that compassion could bridge the gap between species and cultures, reminding him of the fundamental kindness that resided within all beings, no matter where they came from. Together, they would navigate this vast marketplace and bring Luma back to their parent, one step at a time. As they pressed on in their search, Alex and Luma began to encounter a vibrant array of alien species, each more extraordinary than the last. The marketplace was alive with a cacophony of sounds, from the melodic chatter of the vendors to the whirring of mechanical devices that seemed to whiz past them. Alex could feel the energy in the air, a mix of excitement and urgency, which only heightened his resolve to find Luma's parent. "Look at that one!" Luma exclaimed, pointing at a stall where a tall, tentacled creature was demonstrating a gadget that spun in mesmerizing circles. "It looks like a helix." Alex chuckled, feeling the child's enthusiasm. "Yeah, it does. I wonder what it does." He squinted to see the intricate patterns on the device, fascinated by the alien craftsmanship. The colors shifted as the device spun, catching the light in a way that reminded him of the stars. "Maybe we should ask," Luma suggested, their eyes sparkling with curiosity. "Definitely," Alex agreed, though he felt a pang of guilt. They were on a mission, and every moment spent admiring the marketplace felt like a delay. However, he also knew that keeping Luma engaged would help alleviate some of the anxiety bubbling beneath the surface. As they approached the stall, the helix spotted them and waved a tentacle in greeting. "Welcome, travelers. Would you like to see the wonders of the quantum spinner?" Before Alex could respond, Luma jumped in with enthusiasm. "Yes. What does it do?" The helix smiled, revealing rows of tiny, sharp teeth. "This device can create temporary portals to different dimensions, but only for a brief moment. Would you like to try?" Alex's heart raced at the prospect of such an adventure, but he quickly refocused on their objective. "That sounds amazing, but we're actually looking for Luma's parent. Have you seen a Zektar with green skin and a blue scarf?" The helix's expression shifted to one of concern. "Ah, I have not seen such a one today. But fear not. The marketplace is vast. Why not ask others nearby?" Luma's shoulders drooped slightly, and Alex could feel the weight of their disappointment. "We'll keep looking," he said, giving Luma's hand a reassuring squeeze. "Let's see what else we can find." They continued through the stalls, where the air was thick with enticing smells, roasted meats, sweet fruits, and strange spices that made Alex's stomach rumble. He glanced down at Luma, whose eyes remained wide with wonder, but the child's smile was fading. The fun of discovery was being overshadowed by the stress of their search. "Hey, how about we grab a snack?" Alex suggested, trying to lighten the mood. "I saw a cart selling those caramelized fruits earlier. What do you think?" Luma's eyes lit up again. "Yes, please." They made their way to the cart, where a friendly vendor, a small, fluffy creature with big eyes and a welcoming grin, scooped up a handful of the bright, shiny fruits. "These are the best in the galaxy. Perfect for energizing you for your next adventure." As they munched on the sweet treats, Luma began to relax, laughter bubbling up as they shared stories about their favorite foods. It was a brief reprieve, a moment of joy amidst the uncertainty, and Alex cherished every smile he could draw from the child. "Okay, snack time is over," he said, wiping sugar from his fingers. "Let's get back to finding your parent. We've got this." Luma nodded, determination returning to their gaze. "I want to find them." With that, they resumed their quest, moving through the crowd that was becoming denser as the day progressed. The vibrant marketplace transformed into a sea of colors and sounds, with every corner revealing something new and enchanting. Alex felt awash in the chaos, but he held on to the mission. They had to find Luma's parent. As they navigated through, Alex noticed the different species interacting, some exchanging items, others animatedly discussing their wares. The diversity fascinated him, each race with distinct customs and expressions, all coexisting in this bustling hub of trade. Suddenly, Luma tugged at his sleeve, their face lighting up with excitement. "Look, Alex! The stall over there. They have those glowing crystals." "Let's check it out," he responded, intrigued by the colors radiating from the stall. As they approached, Alex marveled at the array of crystals, each one pulsating with life. It was as if they held the very essence of the universe within them. "Wow!" Luma gasped, their small hands reaching out to touch a particularly bright crystal that glimmered like a star. "Can we get one?" "Maybe after we find your parent," Alex said, though he could feel his resolve softening. The allure of the crystals was undeniable, and he wanted to see Luma's face light up with joy again. "What if we ask the vendor if they've seen your parent first?" As they inquired, the vendor, a short, stout creature with a cheerful demeanor, shook his head. "No Zektar has come this way. But I can tell you this, if they're lost, they might be looking for you in the central plaza." Luma's eyes widened with hope. The Central Plaza. Let's go! With renewed vigor, they rushed towards the plaza, weaving through the crowd. The vibrant energy of the marketplace enveloped them, and Alex felt a thrill of urgency as he picked up the pace, determined to reunite Luma with their parent. Once they reached the Central Plaza, Alex took a moment to catch his breath. The space was expansive, filled with families and friends laughing, chatting, and enjoying the day. It was a stark contrast to the anxiety that had gripped him earlier. He glanced down at Luma, who was scanning the crowd with wide, hopeful eyes. "Remember what we talked about?" Alex asked softly. "We can do this. Just keep your eyes peeled for that blue scarf." "I will," Luma declared, determination flashing across their face. As they began to navigate through the throng of beings, Alex couldn't help but marvel at the unique customs on display. A group of aliens was engaged in a lively dance, their movements fluid and rhythmic, while another booth showcased culinary delights that made Alex's mouth water. "Look at them dance," Luma said, pointing excitedly. "Yeah. They're good," Alex replied, momentarily caught up in the infectious joy of the celebration. But then he refocused. "All right, let's not forget our mission." They pressed on, calling out to nearby vendors and families, asking if anyone had seen Luma's parent. Each time, the responses were the same sympathetic shakes of the head or soft apologies. With each rejection, Alex could feel Luma's hope flickering, and he desperately wanted to reignite that spark. "If you're enjoying this story, don't forget to subscribe to the channel," he said, trying to keep the energy light. As they moved deeper into the plaza, Alex felt the atmosphere shift. The crowd began to grow restless as a low hum of chatter turned into a buzz of excitement. Something was happening, but he couldn't quite place it. "Luma, hold my hand tightly," he instructed, feeling the tension in the air. "Let's stick together." Just then, a fleet of ships appeared overhead, their metallic bodies casting shadows over the crowd. The sudden sight sent waves of awe and fear rippling through the plaza. Luma squeezed Alex's hand tightly, eyes wide with terror. "Alex! What's happening?" "It's okay. It's just a fleet." "But we need to stay calm," he reassured, though his own heart raced. The ships hovered ominously, and Alex's instincts told him that the arrival of the fleet could complicate their search. "Let's find a safe spot and see what's going on," he suggested, leading Luma toward the edge of the plaza. His mind raced as he tried to prepare for whatever might unfold next, all while keeping his focus on finding Luma's parent. As they pressed deeper into the plaza, the energy shifted palpably. The lively chatter morphed into a collective hum of anticipation, the crowd began to pulse like a living organism, and Alex could feel the tension in the air. He glanced down at Luma, who was still holding his hand tightly, their bright blue eyes scanning the ever-changing sea of faces. "Luma, stay close to me," Alex urged, his heart racing with the sense of urgency that came with their mission. "We're going to find your parent." Just as he spoke, a loud roar erupted from above, and Alex looked up to see a fleet of ships descending into the plaza. Their metallic forms cast long shadows over the crowd, and a mix of excitement and fear rippled through the onlookers. Luma's grip tightened around his hand, and he could feel the little one trembling beside him. "What are they doing?" Luma asked, eyes wide with a mix of fascination and dread. "I'm not sure, but it's probably best to stay together," Alex replied, looking around anxiously. The atmosphere had shifted from one of celebration to an electric tension as the ships settled in the plaza, their engines humming ominously. He could see clusters of aliens pointing upwards, their conversations turning into an animated buzz. Alex's instincts kicked in. "Let's find a safe place to watch," he said, nudging Luma gently. "We don't want to get lost in the crowd again." They moved toward the edge of the plaza, where a group of colorful stalls offered an array of trinkets and treats. The vendors were busy trying to attract attention, shouting about their wares while others gawked at the spectacle above. Alex quickly scanned the area, looking for any sign of Luma's parent amidst the chaos. "Do you see anyone?" he asked, kneeling to meet Luma's gaze, hoping to reassure them despite his own rising anxiety. "No, not yet," Luma replied, their enthusiasm dimmed by the overwhelming sight before them. "What if they can't find me?" "They will," Alex assured, though he felt the weight of the child's fear. We just need to stay positive. Let's look for that blue scarf you mentioned. As they continued to search, the fleet's engines powered down, and the plaza erupted in cheers and applause. The ships hovered silently, their sleek designs gleaming under the marketplace lights. Even amidst the crowd's excitement, Alex could feel a tension lingering, something was off. Suddenly, a commotion erupted to their right. A group of aliens, visibly agitated, began to shout at one another, their gestures animated and aggressive. Alex's heart sank as he watched the scene unfold. The last thing he needed was to get caught up in a conflict while trying to help Luma. "Let's move back a little," he suggested, tugging Luma gently. They retreated a few steps, trying to avoid drawing attention to themselves. But as they did, a loud crash echoed through the plaza, and Alex's instincts kicked in again. "Stay close," he whispered, pressing Luma against him protectively. The shouting intensified, and suddenly, one of the larger aliens in the group swung a fist wildly, narrowly missing another vendor's stall. The chaos escalated, and Alex could feel the fear rising in Luma, who clutched his side tightly. "Alex, I'm scared," Luma cried, their voice barely above a whisper. "I know, but we'll be okay. Just stick with me," he replied, trying to keep his own voice steady. He scanned the crowd for a possible escape route, wishing he could shield Luma from all this chaos. Just as he was about to pull Luma further back, a voice cut through the noise. "Hey! Everyone, calm down." A tall alien with shimmering green skin stepped forward, their presence commanding attention. "We are all friends here. Let's not ruin this day." The crowd hesitated, and gradually, the shouting began to die down. Alex watched, impressed by the assertiveness of the newcomer. The figure stepped closer to the group in conflict, hands raised in a gesture of peace. "We can settle this without violence." Alex felt a glimmer of hope as he observed the alien's demeanor. Perhaps this would diffuse the situation after all. The crowd began to listen, and as the tension eased, Luma let out a shaky breath. "See? It's going to be all right," Alex murmured, smiling down at Luma. As the crowd quietened, the alien continued speaking, emphasizing unity and the importance of family. Alex felt the words resonate deeply within him. He realized that this was a chance for Luma to see how even in chaos, kindness could prevail. "Thank you," Luma whispered, glancing up at Alex with newfound courage. "Let's get a little closer," Alex suggested, sensing that the situation was stabilizing. They made their way towards the front, listening intently. The alien spoke of compassion, understanding, and the power of community. Alex couldn't help but admire the way the alien managed to unite the diverse crowd, reminding them that they all shared the same desires for safety and family. "Stay with me, Luma," he said softly, feeling a surge of determination. "I think we're going to be okay." Just then, Luma's eyes widened in recognition. "Look, Alex. That's my parent." They pointed excitedly toward the other side of the plaza, where a Zektar was frantically scanning the crowd. "Where?" Alex asked, turning to follow Luma's finger. His heart raced as he spotted the parent, a bright blue scarf fluttering in the wind. "That's them," Luma exclaimed, tugging on Alex's arm. "Okay, let's make our way through the crowd," Alex instructed, feeling a rush of adrenaline. But as they started moving, he realized the crowd was still thick with people milling about, absorbed in the aftermath of the alien's speech. "Stay close," Alex said again, moving through the throngs of beings. He remained vigilant, adjusting his path to keep Luma safe. They ducked under an archway of colorful lights, weaving their way through the market stalls. "Almost there," Luma urged, their excitement infectious. Alex could feel the energy building between them, and he smiled, reminded of the importance of hope in dire situations. Yet, the closer they got, the more Alex felt a knot of anxiety form in his stomach. The crowd was beginning to swell again, and he could see the Zektar parent becoming overwhelmed, looking increasingly desperate. "Come on, we can do this," Alex murmured to himself, pushing forward, determined to help Luma reunite with their parent. If you're enjoying this story, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. He tightened his grip on Luma's hand, focused on navigating the chaos, knowing that every step brought them closer to their goal. The stakes were high, and he could feel the weight of the moment pressing down on him. As the tension in the market began to ebb, the tall alien with shimmering green skin stepped forward with a commanding presence that instantly drew the attention of both the agitated group and the bystanders. Their voice rang out, firm yet calm, slicing through the chaos like a beam of light. "Hey! Everyone, calm down. We are all friends here. Let's not ruin this day." Alex felt a flicker of hope amidst the turmoil. Perhaps this alien could help diffuse the situation. He glanced down at Luma, who looked up at him, wide-eyed, as if the alien's assertiveness had sparked a glimmer of courage within them. "See? It's going to be all right," he whispered, trying to instill confidence in the child. The greenskin alien continued to speak, emphasizing themes of unity and compassion, reminding the crowd of their shared desires for safety and family. Alex couldn't help but admire how the alien managed to unite the diverse beings around them, redirecting their focus from anger to understanding. Luma, clutching Alex's side tightly, began to relax, their small features softening as they absorbed the words spoken by this stranger. "Thank you," Luma murmured, glancing at Alex as if to say, "We're going to be okay." Alex smiled down at them, feeling a swell of pride for their budding strength. "Stay close, Luma," he said softly, leading the child a little closer to the front as the crowd began to listen. The alien spoke passionately about the importance of family, sharing anecdotes that resonated with many in the crowd. Alex felt his heart align with these sentiments. After all, he had learned through his own life experiences just how vital family could be, even when it seemed so hard to hold on to. Suddenly, amidst the calming words, Luma tugged at Alex's arm, their voice filled with excitement. "Look, Alex. That's my parent." They pointed across the plaza, where a Zektar was searching the crowd with frantic energy, their bright blue scarf billowing behind them like a flag in the wind. "Where?" Alex asked, instinctively scanning the crowd for a glimpse of the familiar figure. His heart raced as he finally spotted the parent, their expressions a mix of anxiety and determination, desperately searching for their lost child. "That's them!" Luma exclaimed, joy radiating from their little frame. "Okay, let's make our way through the crowd," Alex instructed, his pulse quickening with adrenaline. He felt a surge of urgency. Luma needed to be reunited with their parent. But just as they began to move, Alex realized that the crowd was still thick with people, still buzzing with the aftermath of the alien's speech. "Stay close," he urged again, and Luma nodded, eyes filled with determination. They maneuvered together through the throng, the vibrant colors and sounds of the market surrounding them. Alex kept a protective hand on Luma's shoulder, navigating the chaos with care, determined to shield the child from any danger. "Almost there," Luma urged as they cut through the bustling crowd. The excitement in the child's voice was contagious, and Alex felt a smile tug at his lips, fueled by the hope of a joyful reunion. However, as they drew nearer, Alex noticed Luma's parent becoming increasingly overwhelmed, their eyes darting around in desperation, looking for any sign of their child. "Come on, we can do this," Alex whispered, urging them forward, knowing that every step brought them closer to achieving their goal. The stakes felt high, and he could sense the weight of the moment pressing down on him. Just as they reached the edge of the crowd, a sudden wave of commotion surged, pushing Alex and Luma back. "Hold on!" Alex shouted, trying to maintain his grip on Luma. The crowd swelled again, as people reacted to the arrival of a fleet of ships hovering above the marketplace, the metallic behemoths casting shadows over the plaza. The atmosphere shifted rapidly from one of hope to chaos, with excitement mixing with fear. "Alex, I'm scared!" Luma cried, their earlier confidence shaken by the unexpected disruption. "I know. But just hold on tight," he said, feeling a rush of protectiveness wash over him. "We'll find your parent, I promise." As the ships descended, the crowd erupted into a mix of cheers and shouts. Alex glanced up, trying to discern what was happening. The fleet's presence was grand, but it seemed to exacerbate the panic that had already started to swell among the people. Luma's grip on his hand tightened, and Alex could see the anxiety creeping back into their eyes. "Let's just focus on your parent," he urged, trying to cut through the noise. "They're right over there." He pointed toward the Zektar, who was now frantically waving their arms, trying to attract attention. "Look, Luma. We can do this," Alex reassured, feeling the urgency rise within. He pressed forward, pushing through the crowd, carefully guiding Luma alongside him. If you're enjoying this story, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, he added, hoping to keep the child's spirits up despite the chaos unfolding around them. With every step they took, the tension in the air seemed to rise, and Alex could hear the murmurs and gasps of the crowd as they reacted to the fleet's arrival. It was as if time slowed down, each heartbeat echoing in his ears as they drew closer to the Zektar parent. Luma's excitement was palpable, yet Alex could sense the fear bubbling just beneath the surface. Almost there, just a little further, he encouraged, his eyes locked onto the Zektar, who was now scanning the crowd with a look of desperation. Luma tugged on his arm, feeling the weight of their connection. "Alex, I can see them!" Luma exclaimed, pointing excitedly, their voice trembling with hope. But just as they began to break free from the crowd, a sudden surge of bodies pushed them back once more, and Alex's heart sank. "Stay with me," he urged, fiercely holding onto Luma's small hand. This moment was critical, the stakes had never been higher. The crowd roared in response to the ships above, and Alex could feel the panic swirling around them. They were so close, yet the chaos seemed determined to keep them apart. "Just keep your eyes on me," he shouted, his voice barely cutting through the din. Luma nodded, determination etched on their face. They pressed forward together, Alex leading the way through the thrumming sea of alien life, each step fueled by the urgency of their mission. "Don't worry, we're going to find your parent," he promised, the weight of his words hanging in the air as they pushed through the throng, inching ever closer to the reunion that had become their beacon of hope amidst the chaos. As they regrouped, Alex knelt beside Luma, who had started to tremble slightly. The vibrant chaos of the marketplace was still swirling around them, but for a moment, it felt as if time had slowed. Alex could see the fear in Luma's eyes, and it mirrored the same anxiety he felt deep within himself. He placed a comforting hand on the child's shoulder, hoping to ground them both amidst the uncertainty. "Hey, it's okay," he said softly, his voice barely audible over the cacophony of voices and alien chatter. "Let's take a breath together." He inhaled deeply, exaggerating the motion to encourage Luma to mimic him. The child followed suit, their small chest rising and falling in sync with Alex's rhythm. "I just want to find my parent," Luma said, their voice trembling but filled with determination. The child's large, tear-filled eyes were searching Alex's face for reassurance, and Alex felt a rush of empathy. He knew how it felt to be lost, to feel that gnawing worry about loved ones. His heart ached for Luma, and in this moment, he made a silent vow to do everything in his power to ensure the child was reunited with their parent. "Let's think about where we can look next," Alex suggested, his mind racing as he surveyed their surroundings. The marketplace was a maze of colors and sounds, filled with creatures of all shapes and sizes. "What if we check the family gathering area? Sometimes parents take their children there to relax." Luma nodded vigorously, their expression shifting from despair to hope. "Yes. They might be there." With renewed determination, they set off, weaving through the throng of bustling shoppers and vendors, the vibrant stalls overflowing with exotic goods. Alex kept a protective hand on Luma's shoulder as they navigated the chaos. The sights and sounds of the market were overwhelming, but they pressed on, driven by the hope of finding Luma's parent. As they walked, Luma began to share stories about their home planet, Zektar. "It's so quiet compared to here," the child said, their eyes wide with wonder as they pointed at the various alien species around them. "And the sky is always purple at sunset." Alex smiled, captivated by Luma's enthusiasm. "That sounds beautiful. I'd love to see it one day. Do you have any favorite spots?" "There's a big tree that glows at night," Luma exclaimed, their face lighting up with excitement. "I like to climb it and watch the stars. They look different from here." "Different how?" Alex asked, genuinely curious. "Brighter. They twinkle like diamonds," Luma said, their small hands gesturing animatedly as they spoke. Alex could see the child's fear momentarily forgotten, replaced by the joy of sharing something close to their heart. As they continued their conversation, Alex felt a warmth spreading through him. This child, despite their fears, had a spirit that shone brightly. It reminded him of his own childhood, the carefree days spent dreaming under the stars. "I'd like to see those stars," he said, thinking about how much he had taken for granted in his own life. But as they turned a corner, their hopeful chatter was abruptly interrupted. The crowd thickened, and Alex felt a surge of anxiety course through him. "Stay close, Luma," he instructed, feeling protective instincts kick in once again. Suddenly, Luma's voice quivered. "What if we can't find them? What if they're lost forever?" Alex crouched down to meet Luma's gaze, his heart aching at the thought. "We won't give up. We'll keep looking until we find them," he reassured, his voice steady. Luma nodded, but the flicker of doubt in their eyes told Alex that the child still needed more than just words. "Can I tell you something?" Luma asked, their voice barely a whisper. "Of course," Alex replied, sensing the gravity of the moment. "I'm really scared," Luma admitted, their voice choked with emotion. "I thought I lost them for good. When I couldn't see them, I just felt alone." "I understand," Alex said gently, recalling times when he felt lost and alone as a child. "But you're not alone. We're in this together." Luma looked at him, their eyes searching for reassurance. "You're not going to leave me, right?" "Not a chance." "We're a team now," Alex promised, feeling a bond forming between them that transcended their differences. Just then, a loud commotion erupted nearby, pulling their attention. A group of aliens was gathered around a stall, shouting and gesturing wildly. The atmosphere shifted from hopeful to tense, and Alex's protective instincts flared again. "Let's steer clear of that," he said, gently guiding Luma away. "We need to focus on finding your parent." They moved quickly, the sounds of the marketplace swirling around them. The vivid colors and strange scents filled Alex's senses, but he kept his focus on the child beside him. Luma's small hand remained firmly grasped in his, providing both comfort and a sense of purpose. As they approached what seemed to be the family gathering area, Alex's heart raced with anticipation. The area was a haven, bustling with families sharing stories and laughter, but Alex noticed immediately that it felt different from the rest of the marketplace. Here, the air was filled with warmth and camaraderie, a stark contrast to the chaos just moments before. "Do you see anyone?" he asked, scanning the crowd. Luma's eyes darted around, searching frantically. "Not yet," they murmured, anxiety creeping back into their voice. Just then, Alex spotted a familiar figure in the distance, a Zektar, their features unmistakable. "Look, Luma," he yelled, pointing excitedly. "Your parent is right there." Luma's eyes widened, a mixture of joy and disbelief flooding over their face. "Really?" "Yes, come on," Alex encouraged, pulling Luma forward. The child's excitement was contagious, and together they surged toward the figure, weaving through the families gathered in the area. But as they approached, the crowd shifted again. Alex held his breath, feeling a renewed sense of urgency. "We can do this," he urged, feeling the weight of the moment pressing down on them. The cheers and laughter of the gathering faded into a distant hum as they made their way closer. "Hold my hand tight," Alex instructed, feeling the heat of the moment intensify. Luma clutched his hand, determination igniting their spirit. "I won't let go." As they neared the Zektar, Alex couldn't help but feel the rush of adrenaline. This was it, the moment they had been working toward. The stakes felt higher than ever, and with every step, he could sense the tension in the air. "Just a few more steps," he encouraged, urging Luma forward. With every heartbeat, they closed the distance, the world around them fading away until it was just Alex and Luma, two souls united by hope. "Let's go!" Luma cried, their voice filled with determination. Together, they pushed through the last barrier of the crowd, ready to embrace the moment that awaited them, a reunion filled with love, relief, and the promise of family restored. In this whirlwind of emotions, Alex felt a surge of pride and connection that he had never anticipated. In helping Luma, he found a purpose that transformed his perspective on life. They were more than just a pizza delivery driver and a lost child, they were allies in a journey toward hope. As they reached the edge of the gathering, Alex could see the Zektar parent waving frantically, their features etched with worry. "It's time," he whispered to Luma, his heart pounding in anticipation. "Let's do this!" Luma exclaimed, their voice ringing with newfound courage. Together, Alex replied, squeezing Luma's hand tightly as they stepped into the emotional climax that awaited them, a moment that would change everything. If you're enjoying this story, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. As the bustling marketplace continued to hum around them, Alex knelt down to the Zektar child, Luma, who was still processing the whirlwind of emotions swirling within. Luma's eyes, wide and shimmering with tears, reflected a mixture of hope and anxiety. In that moment, Alex felt a surge of determination to help the child find their parent. "You know, I once got lost in a huge mall back on Earth," Alex began, trying to ease Luma's worries with a personal story. "I thought I'd never see my mom again. But then, just when I was about to cry, I heard her voice calling my name. I ran to her, and everything was okay." Luma's small blue face looked up at him, their fear momentarily forgotten. "What happened next?" they asked, curiosity replacing the dread that had been etched on their features. "Well, I ran right into her arms, and she picked me up and spun me around. I felt so safe," Alex said, smiling at the memory. "I promise we'll find your parent, and you'll feel that too. Just hold on tight to my hand, okay?" Luma nodded, a flicker of hope igniting in their eyes. With renewed energy, Alex stood and began to guide the child through the throngs of aliens, weaving past colorful stalls bursting with exotic goods. The sounds of clashing languages and laughter enveloped them like a warm blanket, yet Alex knew that beneath the lively facade, Luma was still filled with trepidation. "Let's keep looking," Alex urged, his voice steady and encouraging. "There's a whole universe of people here, and I bet your parent is looking for you too." They pressed forward, Luma's small hand firmly gripping Alex's, finding comfort in the connection they had forged. As they moved deeper into the marketplace, Alex noticed various alien species interacting, each with their unique customs and languages. The vibrant colors of the stalls painted a lively picture, but Alex's focus remained on Luma. He spotted a small group of Zektars playing nearby, their joyful shouts ringing out, and for a moment, he thought he saw a resemblance. But as they approached, it became clear they were not Luma's family. "Not them," Luma whispered, their voice heavy with disappointment. "I don't see anyone I know." "I know it's hard," Alex said gently. "But let's not give up just yet. Sometimes, the best things come when you least expect them." They continued their search, Alex engaging Luma in conversation to distract them from the anxiety. "What's your favorite food?" he asked. "Glorp fruit," Luma exclaimed, excitement lighting up their face. "It's sweet and squishy, and when you bite into it, it makes a funny noise." Alex chuckled, picturing the colorful fruit. "Sounds delicious. I would love to try that someday. Maybe we can find some after we find your parent." Just then, a loud commotion erupted nearby, pulling their attention. A group of aliens was gathered around a stall, shouting and gesturing wildly. The atmosphere shifted from hopeful to tense, and Alex's protective instincts flared again. "Let's steer clear of that," he said, gently guiding Luma away. "We need to focus on finding your parent." They moved quickly, the sounds of the marketplace swirling around them. The vivid colors and strange scents filled Alex's senses, but he kept his focus on the child beside him. Luma's small hand remained firmly grasped in his, providing both comfort and a sense of purpose. As they approached what seemed to be the family gathering area, Alex's heart raced with anticipation. The area was a haven, bustling with families sharing stories and laughter, but Alex noticed immediately that it felt different from the rest of the marketplace. Here, the air was filled with warmth and camaraderie, a stark contrast to the chaos just moments before. "Do you see anyone?" he asked, scanning the crowd. Luma's eyes darted around, searching frantically. "Not yet," they murmured, anxiety creeping back into their voice. Just then, Alex spotted a familiar figure in the distance, a Zektar, their features unmistakable. "Look, Luma," he yelled, pointing excitedly. "Your parent is right there." Luma's eyes widened, a mixture of joy and disbelief flooding over their face. "Really?" "Yes, come on," Alex encouraged, pulling Luma forward. The child's excitement was contagious, and together they surged toward the figure, weaving through the families gathered in the area. But as they approached, the crowd shifted again. Alex held his breath, feeling a renewed sense of urgency. "We can do this," he urged, feeling the weight of the moment pressing down on them. The cheers and laughter of the gathering faded into a distant hum as they made their way closer. "Hold my hand tight," Alex instructed, feeling the heat of the moment intensify. Luma clutched his hand, determination igniting their spirit. I won't let go. As they neared the Zektar, Alex couldn't help but feel the rush of adrenaline. This was it, the moment they had been working toward. The stakes felt higher than ever, and with every step, he could sense the tension in the air. Just a few more steps, he encouraged, urging Luma forward. With every heartbeat, they closed the distance, the world around them fading away until it was just Alex and Luma, two souls united by hope. Let's go! Luma cried, their voice filled with determination. Together, they pushed through the last barrier of the crowd, ready to embrace the moment that awaited them, a reunion filled with love, relief, and the promise of family restored. If you're enjoying this story, don't forget to leave a like to help the channel grow. As they charged through the crowd, the chaos intensified. The arrival of the fleet above the intergalactic marketplace sent ripples of excitement and anxiety through the throngs of aliens. Alex could feel the energy shift, a mixture of joy and tension as vendors shouted and families scattered in different directions. The once vibrant atmosphere was now thick with uncertainty, and Alex's heart raced with both exhilaration and dread. Luma, keep your eyes peeled. Alex shouted over the noise, gripping the child's hand tightly. The small Zektar was practically vibrating with anticipation, eyes darting through the massive beings around them. Each face was a blend of colors and shapes, and Alex couldn't help but marvel at the diversity of life surrounding him. Yet, his focus remained on the singular goal: finding Luma's parent. I can't see anything. Luma whimpered, their voice strained with panic. What if they're lost forever? We'll find them, Alex reassured, trying to instill a sense of hope amidst the chaos. Just stay close to me. He glanced up at the fleet hovering above, its sleek, ominous silhouette casting a shadow over the marketplace. The ships were imposing, and he couldn't shake the feeling that their arrival was more than just a coincidence. As they pushed forward, Alex spotted a familiar figure in the distance, a Zektar, their features unmistakable even from afar. There, he pointed with a sense of urgency. Is that them? Luma's breath hitched, and they squinted, trying to see through the crowd. I think so. But, there are so many people. Let's go. With newfound determination, Alex steered Luma towards the figure, heart pounding with every step. The child's excitement was palpable, fueling his own drive to reach their goal. But the crowd was dense, and as they approached, Alex felt the tension in the air thicken. Just a little further, he encouraged, feeling the weight of their journey pressing down on him. As they moved closer, a loud crash erupted nearby, drawing everyone's attention. The marketplace buzzed with whispers and gasps, and for a moment, Alex lost sight of the Zektar. Stay close, he urged, panic rising within him as he felt Luma's grip weaken. The sound of shouting filled the air, and he instinctively pulled Luma closer, shielding them from the chaos. We can't let anything distract us now. Luma nodded, their wide eyes still scanning the crowd. Do you think they're okay? I'm sure they are, Alex replied, forcing a smile despite the uncertainty gnawing at him. We'll be there in no time. Just as they broke through a dense cluster of aliens, Alex spotted the Zektar again. Euphoria washed over him, and he felt Luma tugging at his sleeve. Look, Alex. It's them. The figure was moving, searching frantically. As they drew nearer, Alex saw the familiar features, a Zektar with shimmering blue skin and expressive eyes, filled with worry. That's definitely them, he exclaimed, energizing his pace. Mom! Luma cried, breaking into a sprint. The child's voice rang out, cutting through the din of the marketplace. Luma! The Zektar's expression shifted from anxiety to pure relief as they spotted the child. Oh, Luma, my sweet child. As the parent reached out, Luma dashed forward, racing into their arms. Alex breathed a sigh of relief, feeling the tension beginning to ease. The emotional reunion was unfolding before him, and he couldn't help but smile at the sight. The Zektar enveloped Luma in a warm embrace, holding them tightly as if afraid to let go again. Where were you? The parent asked, their voice filled with concern. I was so worried. I was with Alex. He helped me find you. Luma beamed, pointing to Alex, who felt a swell of pride at being recognized as a hero in this moment. Thank you, the Zektar said, turning to Alex with gratitude in their eyes. I don't know how to express my appreciation. I thought I'd lost Luma forever. It was nothing, Alex replied, feeling a flush of humility. I just couldn't let them be alone. Suddenly, the air crackled with energy as the fleet above powered down, the ships shifting into a quiet formation. A soft whoosh echoed across the marketplace, drawing the attention of everyone present. The once tumultuous atmosphere transformed into a serene moment, punctuated only by the soft sobs of joy from Luma and their parent. Wow, Luma whispered, eyes wide with wonder as they glanced up at the spectacle. Look at that! They're all lined up perfectly. The Zektar parent nodded, still holding Luma close. It's beautiful, isn't it? A sign of peace. As Alex stood there, watching the reunion and the fleet above, he felt a sense of satisfaction wash over him. This moment was more than just a successful rescue, it was a reminder of the connections that could be forged even in the most unlikely circumstances. He realized how much the experience had changed him, deepening his understanding of family and compassion. Thank you again, the Zektar parent said, pulling Alex from his thoughts. You brought my child back to me. It was my pleasure, Alex replied, feeling a warmth in his chest. I'm just glad you're reunited. Can we watch the ships together? Luma asked, looking up at their parent with hopeful eyes. Of course, we can, the parent replied softly, smoothing Luma's blue hair. As they stood together, gazing up at the fleet slowly descending, Alex felt the weight of the day lift. The chaos of the marketplace faded into the background, and for a brief moment, the universe felt aligned. He had helped reunite a family, and in doing so, he had found a piece of himself he didn't know he was missing. Seeing the joy in Luma's eyes, Alex couldn't help but smile. You know, he said, looking down at the child, this was quite the adventure, wasn't it? It was the best. Luma chirped, grinning widely. I'm so glad you stayed with me. And I'm glad I did too, Alex responded, feeling the warmth of the moment settle around him. As the fleet powered down completely, the marketplace erupted into applause, the crowd celebrating the end of the chaos. Alex joined in, feeling a sense of belonging among the diverse beings that filled the space. If you're enjoying this story, don't forget to leave a like to help the channel grow. As Alex watched the heartfelt reunion unfold before him, a bittersweet smile graced his face. Luma was safely nestled in their parents' arms, their bright blue skin contrasting beautifully with the parents' shimmering hue. The joy radiating from both of them was palpable, and Alex could feel the warmth of their happiness wash over him like a comforting wave. It was a moment he had never anticipated, one that transformed a chaotic day into something deeply meaningful. Thank you for bringing back my child, the parents said, their voice filled with raw emotion. I thought I had lost Luma forever. It was nothing, Alex replied, feeling a mix of humility and pride swell within him. I just couldn't let them be alone. He felt an unexpected surge of responsibility for the child wash over him again. In this vast, intergalactic marketplace, filled with creatures of all shapes and colors, he had found a way to make a difference, even in a small way. The Zektar parent knelt down to Luma's level, brushing away the tears from their cheeks. You're safe now, my little star, they whispered, their voice gentle and soothing. Luma beamed, a bright smile breaking through the remnants of worry. Look, Mom. The ships. Luma pointed upwards, their voice filled with exuberance as they gazed at the fleet that loomed above, majestic and powerful. The ships, once a source of chaos and fear, now seemed like guardians of the marketplace, their metallic bodies reflecting the vibrant colors of the stalls below. The parents' gaze followed Luma's finger, their expression shifting from concern to awe. They are beautiful, aren't they? As they all stood together, staring at the fleet, the noise of the marketplace faded away, leaving only the wonder of the moment. Alex felt a sense of connection with these two beings he had just met. It was strange how a shared experience could create such a strong bond. You know, he said, breaking the silence, this was quite the adventure, wasn't it? It was the best. Luma exclaimed, excitement bubbling over. And it was all thanks to you. The child's enthusiasm was infectious, and Alex felt a tug at his heart as he watched Luma's excitement transform into pure joy. Adventure or not, I was just doing what felt right, Alex replied, trying to downplay his role. But deep down, He knew that this experience had meant more to him than just a simple act of kindness. It had opened his eyes to the connections that could be made across different worlds and species. Just then, the fleet above powered down, the ships transitioning from a state of chaos to calm. The soft hum of their engines ceased, and a hush fell over the marketplace. The crowd, initially filled with panic and confusion, now stood in awe, their faces illuminated by the vibrant colors of the ships as they settled into formation. "Wow," Luma whispered, eyes wide with wonder. "Look at that! They're all lined up perfectly." "It's a sign of peace," the Zektar parent said softly, still holding Luma close, their gaze fixed on the fleet. "In our culture, it symbolizes unity and the end of conflict." Alex absorbed their words, realizing how much deeper cultural meanings could resonate. This wasn't just about the ships, it was about hope, connection, and a shared future. The realization hit him hard. He was part of something larger, a tiny piece in a vast universe, yet it mattered. Feeling the warmth of the moment, Alex took a breath and shared, I didn't expect to find such camaraderie today. I was just trying to deliver pizza." A chuckle escaped him as he looked at Luma and their parent. "And here I am, part of this incredible adventure." "Pizza delivery?" Luma tilted their head, curiosity dancing in their eyes. "What's that?" Alex laughed, realizing how different their worlds were. "It's a food that brings people together. You order it, and someone delivers it right to your door. How about that? Can we try some?" Luma asked, enthusiasm sparking anew. "I'd love to share it with you," Alex replied, the idea already forming in his mind. "We could have a pizza party. I'll bring the pizza, and you can teach me about Zektar traditions." The parent smiled, appreciating the connection Alex was trying to forge. "That sounds like a wonderful idea," they said. "We'd love to have you over. Luma has been wanting to share our customs with someone new." As they continued to gaze up at the fleet, Alex felt a sense of peace settle over him. The chaos of the day faded into the background, replaced by the warmth of friendship and newfound bonds. For the first time in a long while, he felt truly connected to the world around him. "Thank you, Alex," the parent said, breaking through his thoughts. "For everything. You've given us more than just a reunion, you've reminded us of the kindness that exists in the universe." "It's been a privilege," he replied, his voice filled with sincerity. Luma suddenly tugged at his sleeve, eyes sparkling with excitement. "Can we take a picture together?" they asked, bouncing on their toes. "I want to remember this forever." "Of course." Alex agreed, feeling his heart swell at the request. It was a beautiful moment, one he wanted to capture as well. They all huddled together, and with a quick snap from the parent's device, the memory was frozen in time, a testament to the bond they had formed amidst the chaos. As they stood there, smiling at the camera, the marketplace around them buzzed back to life, the sounds of laughter and celebration resonating in the air. Alex felt a sense of fulfillment wash over him. He had ventured into the unknown, faced challenges he never imagined, and emerged with more than just a story to tell. The fleet, once ominous, had become a symbol of unity. And as he turned to look at Luma and their parent, he realized that he had become part of their story, just as they had become part of his. If you're enjoying this story, don't forget to leave a like to help the channel grow. As the three of them stepped back from the photo-taking moment, Alex felt the laughter and joy of the crowd wrap around them like a warm blanket. The day had transformed from a simple delivery into a memorable adventure filled with connections, and he couldn't help but feel grateful for the unexpected turn his day had taken. As the glow from the fleet above slowly dimmed, Alex felt the weight of the day settle in. The chaos that had engulfed the marketplace transformed into a serene backdrop as people began to gather their thoughts, sharing stories of the day's unexpected turns. Luma, still holding tightly to their parent, looked up at Alex with wide, glistening eyes filled with gratitude. "Thank you for everything, Alex," the Zektar parent said softly, their voice almost a whisper amidst the fading hum of the fleet. "You've not only helped Luma find me, but you've shown us that kindness can bridge worlds." Alex felt a warmth spread through him, a feeling that had been absent during his long shifts as a pizza delivery driver. He had often felt like just another cog in the machine, but today had been different. Today had reminded him that every moment, every interaction, could hold profound significance. It's been my pleasure, Alex replied, forcing a smile that felt genuine. I didn't expect to be part of something like this today. Just goes to show how unpredictable life can be, huh? Luma, still brimming with excitement, chimed in, "Can we take a picture together? I want to remember this forever." The child's innocence and enthusiasm were infectious. Absolutely. Alex agreed, feeling a surge of happiness at the thought of capturing this moment. They huddled together, the parent on one side and Luma on the other, forming a makeshift family portrait. Alex smiled brightly, hoping the image would capture not just their faces, but the joy swelling in his heart. With a click, the moment was immortalized. As they broke apart, Alex felt a sense of completion. He had come to the marketplace today with the simple task of delivering pizzas, but he was leaving with something far more valuable, a connection that transcended species and cultures. Luma's parent leaned in closer, their eyes twinkling with emotion. "You've given us more than just a reunion. You've reminded us of the importance of community, of looking out for one another." "Thank you, Alex." "Really, it was nothing," Alex shrugged, trying to downplay his impact, but his heart swelled with pride at their words. "I'm just glad I could help." As the atmosphere around them began to calm, the marketplace buzzed with life once again. Vendors were returning to their stalls, laughter echoed through the air, and the vibrant colors of the marketplace seemed even more vivid under the fading light. Yet, amidst all this, Alex felt a lingering heaviness. He knew this moment would eventually pass, and he would return to his routine of delivering pizzas without the extraordinary adventure that had unfolded today. Suddenly, Luma tugged at his sleeve, their face alight with an idea. "Can we have a pizza party? I want to try the food you talked about." "It sounds amazing." Alex laughed, feeling the warmth of the suggestion. "A pizza party sounds like a fantastic idea. I'd love to share that with you. We can make it a celebration of our new friendship." Luma's parent nodded, a smile breaking across their face. "That sounds wonderful. We would be delighted to share our traditions with you in return." The prospect of sharing a meal, of connecting further, filled Alex with a sense of purpose. "Let's set it up. I can bring the pizzas, and you can teach me about Zektar customs. I want to learn everything." As they exchanged ideas for the pizza party, Alex reflected on how the day had altered his perspective. The kindness he had shown seemed to bounce back to him in waves, teaching him that the smallest gestures could ripple out, creating connections in ways he had never imagined before. "I always thought my job was just about delivering food," he confessed, glancing at Luma and their parent. "But now, I see that it can be about so much more, creating bonds, sharing laughter, and building a community." Luma beamed. "You're right. And we're part of your community now." Alex chuckled, "You sure are. I can't wait to introduce you to my friends." As they talked, the hustle and bustle of the marketplace faded into the background. The warmth of their conversation enveloped them, creating a bubble of connection that felt both comforting and exhilarating. Alex realized that he had not just delivered a pizza today, he had delivered compassion, understanding, and a little bit of joy to both Luma and their parent. Then, as if on cue, the fleet above them powered down completely, leaving behind a serene calm. The lights dimmed, and a sense of peace seemed to wash over the marketplace. The once chaotic atmosphere transformed into one of harmony, as if the universe itself had recognized the connections being forged below. "Wow," Luma whispered, looking up at the now darkened fleet. "It's beautiful." "It is," Alex agreed, gazing up as well. "And it's a reminder that sometimes, even in chaos, there's beauty waiting to be found." As they stood together, Alex felt a profound sense of gratitude wash over him. He had started the day as a simple pizza delivery driver, feeling somewhat lost in the vastness of the universe. But now, he stood with newfound friends, each of them carrying their own stories, yet united in this moment. "Thank you for sharing this day with me," he said earnestly, looking at Luma and their parent. "I'll never forget it." "Neither will we," their parent replied, their voice filled with warmth. "This day has changed us all." Alex smiled, feeling the truth of those words resonate in his heart. He had indeed been changed, and he realized he had the power to influence others, to foster relationships, and to bring joy into the world. As they began to part ways, Luma handed Alex a small token, a brightly colored charm shaped like a star, glimmering under the fading light. "This is for you, to remember our day together." Touched, Alex accepted the charm with both hands. "I'll treasure this," he promised, his heart swelling with emotion. "Thank you, Luma." With promises to meet soon for the pizza party, they exchanged heartfelt goodbyes. As he walked away, Alex felt lighter, his spirits buoyed by the connections he had made and the promise of new friendships. If you're enjoying this story, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. As he returned to his delivery route, he reflected on how the simple act of kindness had transformed into something extraordinary, and he couldn't help but smile at the thought of the adventures yet to come. As Alex walked away from the heartfelt farewell, a sense of warmth enveloped him. The charm that Luma had gifted him dangled from his fingers like a promise, a reminder of the extraordinary day they had shared. Each step felt lighter than the last as he navigated through the bustling intergalactic marketplace, the vibrant colors and intriguing aromas swirling around him. The sounds of laughter and chatter mixed with the distant hum of space vehicles overhead, a symphony of life that he now appreciated more than ever. Reflecting on the day, Alex couldn't help but smile. He had started as just another pizza delivery driver, navigating his usual routine, but now he was transformed. The experience with Luma and their parent had opened his heart in ways he hadn't expected. He felt like he had participated in something much larger than himself, a bridge between worlds, a human connection that transcended species and cultures. As he strolled back to his delivery vehicle, he replayed the moments in his mind. The fear in Luma's eyes when they first met, the way their face lit up when they found a moment of joy amidst the chaos, and the unwavering support of Luma's parent, who had shown him the importance of family and community. It was a reminder that connection could be found in the most unexpected places, and that sometimes, all it took was a simple act of kindness to create lasting bonds. Pushing the delivery vehicle into gear, Alex glanced at the charm again. It sparkled in the light, reflecting the colors of the marketplace. He decided to make it a point to treat each delivery as not just a job, but as an opportunity to connect with someone, to learn their story, and to share a bit of his own. After all, every person he delivered to had their own experiences, their own challenges, and their own joys. He wanted to be a part of that, to bring a little bit of happiness into their lives through something as simple as a pizza. As he made his way through the familiar streets, he thought about all the customers he had encountered over the years. Each face, each interaction, could spark a connection worth remembering. He recalled Mrs. Thompson, the elderly lady who always ordered a large mushroom pizza every Friday, and how she would share stories of her youth and the adventures she had experienced. Or young Timmy, who would always be waiting at the door with a huge grin, eager to share his latest drawing with Alex. Those moments had always been highlights of his day, but now they felt even more significant. Arriving at his next destination, a lively family home, Alex took a deep breath. He had delivered here before, and he could already hear the sounds of children playing inside. As he approached the door, he knocked and was greeted by a flurry of excitement. The children rushed to the door, their eyes wide as they saw the pizza boxes stacked in his hands. "Pizza! Pizza!" they chorused, bouncing on their toes. Alex chuckled, the sound bubbling up from within him. "That's right. Who's ready for a pizza party?" he asked, and the children squealed in delight, tugging at his sleeves as they ushered him inside. The aroma of freshly baked pizza filled the air, mingling with the sweet smell of dessert in the oven. It was a cozy, chaotic atmosphere, one that reminded him of home. The parents greeted him warmly, and he felt an instant connection as they exchanged pleasantries. They thanked him for bringing not just the food but the joy that came with it. Each interaction felt like a thread weaving into an intricate tapestry of community, and he wanted to be a part of it all. "Did you hear about the fleet that just powered down?" one of the parents asked as they gathered around the table, ready to dig into the feast. "Yeah. It was so cool," a child exclaimed, eyes sparkling with excitement. "There were lights everywhere." Alex smiled, the memory of the fleet's descent fresh in his mind. "It was amazing, wasn't it? Just like a fireworks show," he said, recalling how the fleet had transformed the atmosphere, bringing a sense of wonder and unity to the marketplace. "You know, sometimes it takes something spectacular like that to remind us of the beauty around us." As they enjoyed their meal, laughter and stories flowed freely. Alex shared anecdotes from his day, and in return, the family opened up about their own adventures, revealing the joys and challenges of parenthood, the little victories in their daily lives, and the beauty of their shared moments. He felt a surge of belonging wash over him, a realization that he was, in fact, part of a wider community that thrived on connection and kindness. After the meal, as the children began to play, Alex took a moment to step outside. The evening air was crisp, and he looked up at the stars twinkling in the vast expanse above. It was a reminder of how small yet significant his actions could be. Each star seemed to represent a story, a connection, a moment worth cherishing. He thought of Luma, of their parent, and how they had shown him the importance of compassion and understanding. Suddenly, a thought struck him: what if I could help others see this too? He envisioned organizing community events, pizza nights where people from different backgrounds could come together, share food, and connect. It would be a way to foster relationships, to build a community that embraced diversity and celebrated humanity. He felt invigorated by the idea, and a smile spread across his face as he returned inside. "Hey, everyone," he called out, gathering their attention. "What do you think about a pizza party for the whole neighborhood?" The parents exchanged excited glances, while the children cheered in delight. It was as if he had just ignited a spark of enthusiasm that was contagious. As the night wore on, they discussed plans, shared ideas, and laughed together, the warmth of connection wrapping around them like a cozy blanket. Alex felt a renewed sense of purpose, knowing he could make a difference in his community, no matter how small it might seem. When it was finally time to leave, Alex stepped out into the cool night air, his heart filled with hope. He had come full circle, from a simple pizza delivery driver to someone who could inspire others and foster community connections. It was a journey that had transformed him, one that started with a crying child and ended with a promise of unity. Comment on what your favorite moment was and turn on notifications, he thought, chuckling to himself as he walked to his vehicle, eager for the next adventure that awaited him. The universe felt a little smaller now, a little friendlier, and he was ready to embrace whatever came next.